We're here in Madrid testing. It didn't look like maybe we would, but Formula E managed to pull it off. But while we are here enjoying watching these cars go around and enjoying watching the Gen 3 Evo car, our thoughts are still with people in Valencia.
Yeah, that's the first thing that I wanted to mention today. It's been a mega challenge to be here today, but the first thing that we need to remind is that there is a lot of people suffering in Valencia, and we have had the most support possible, from that community in every single way, and we are obviously planning to give back as much as we can in terms of not only economical resources but physical resources as well. So our thoughts to them, our prayers as well, and hopefully they will come back to normality soon enough.
Perfect. Can you just talk me through the decision that was made, obviously, when you decided, and actually a timeline of when it was decided that Valencia couldn't go ahead, and then how you came to decide on coming here at Jarama?
Well, the decision was pretty easy to take. Obviously, we didn't want to take any resources that were needed for the catastrophe and the drama that was happening in Valencia. Imagine if we're doing, operationally speaking, actually we could be there. The track itself hasn't had that damage, but definitely, we wanted to be sensible, with the situation, and having a fire brigade there waiting for us instead of going and helping people that obviously needed 1,000 times more than we do. It didn't have kind of common sense to us, So the decision on our side was very easy. Obviously, the Ricardo Tormo is a circuit that is owned by the region of Valencia. So the general manager is almost partially a politician, and he was in all those crisis meetings. So we were informed on an hourly basis on how everything was developing, and we were just waiting for them together with us, to take this joint decision to basically cancel the event. That's why it took us 24 hours to make it public. But at the end it was a joint decision, and us from the beginning we said that it was not going to be possible. Knowing that, the first thing we did when we woke up on that Wednesday morning was trying to see options, and obviously we're in Jarama, only 300 kilometers away from Valencia. I hold a very good personal relationship with many people here in the circuit, so I thought that it was going to be kind of the easiest way to replace the test in Valencia. Then it didn't go that easy because obviously Ignacio was kind enough to almost cancel 5-6 events that were happening here this week, and obviously we needed to work around different teams, operational teams, to in some cases coexist during the week and during the weekend especially. But definitely enormous thanks to Ignacio and his team, because they have done an amazing job. And I don't think we could have done this in any other track in the world. So thanks a lot, Ignacio. My pleasure.
I'll move on to you, Ignacio, because obviously it's a huge operation for Formula E to move from one location to another. Even 300 kilometers, it's a huge infrastructure change. But also for you and your team here, there's a lot of people that have worked incredibly hard to make this happen. I imagine there's a few people you may like to thank, first of all.
Yes, definitely. And first of all, let me join the thoughts and condolences to all the Valencia people, and especially our colleagues in Ricardo Tormo circuit. We feel so close to them in these moments. And then going directly to, he's right. It's a mega challenge. And we did it. I think when you have the responsibility to provide with the right answer in the right moment, then you grow and your people grow. And let me tell you that our first phone call was on Thursday. So on Friday was vacation, was holiday in Spain. So 3 days holiday. And we only have 4 days, 3 of them were holiday. So this makes that the challenge is even bigger. But felt so confident in my team. Let me thank all of them, especially our operations manager, Jose Francisco, that has been with you, working hand by hand to make this possible, and our catering manager, because we have been feeding almost 2,000 people during this week. So it was a challenge. It was not so easy. As you said, we have certain pre-booked events. Some of them will be compatible with the Formula E test. Other ones we should postpone. But it was important for us, everybody feel that this racetrack, that is the more veteran and the more senior circuit in Spain, because we were officially inaugurated open in 1967, is suitable for this kind of new championships, new races. So a challenge, we did it, and well, I hope all of you are enjoying these our facilities and our services, and even this spectacular weather that we are having in November. It's not the very usual, but we have this spectacular weather, so we feel delighted to have all of you here.
We're all very grateful, and we appreciate the warm welcome that you've given everyone here. I also love the fact that the whole country has been, keeping Valencia in their minds. The Real match the other night, they had a big banner for Valencia, so great to see that. Perhaps maybe, Alberto, you might like to say something in Spanish for people watching in Spain. We speak in English and we take that for granted, but you are two Spaniards sat together on a stage, and maybe you'd like to have a brief word in Spanish.
Pues muy bien, muchas gracias. To allow me to say something in Spanish. Pues es un absoluto placer estar aquí en Madrid. La desgracia, obviamente, es que estamos en una semana que casi no se debería hacer nada, y lo digo muy honestamente. Estamos todos con la mente y el corazón puestos 100% en Valencia, donde obviamente vamos a destinar muchísimos recursos, tanto económicos como técnicos como humanos, para intentar facilitar pues la vuelta a la normalidad, o que esa vuelta a la normalidad sea lo antes posible. Y nada, simplemente que seguimos rezando por todos los valencianos, y que esperemos que se olvide esto cuanto antes, aunque va a ser muy difícil, obviamente, y se va a tardar tiempo, pero que tenéis todo el apoyo, y creo que hablo en el mundo del deporte, del motor en general, pero muy particularmente de la Fórmula E y de mi persona.
Y desde luego, uniéndome a todo lo que ha comentado Alberto, como muchos de vosotros sabéis, sorry for the Spanish, el propietario del circuito es el Real Automóvil Club de España. Y una de nuestras grandes líneas de actividad desde hace muchísimos años es la asistencia en carretera. Yo creo que las imágenes que todos hemos visto de esa cantidad de coches pues que se han visto afectados, cómo se encuentra ahora mismo la situación de la movilidad para la práctica totalidad de los ciudadanos de la provincia de Valencia y de la Comunidad Valenciana. Desde que se produjo la catástrofe, nos pusimos a disposición de la Dirección General de Tráfico, nos pusimos a disposición de la Agrupación de Tráfico de la Guardia Civil, y probablemente queda mucho por hacer, pero es fundamental recuperar la movilidad también en la Comunidad Valenciana, por todo lo que ello comporta, desde poder llevar a los chicos al cole, a poder ir a los puestos de trabajo, y desde luego también yo creo que hay un tema fundamental ahí, que es la logística de toda la industria que hay en Valencia, que tiene que encontrar también la forma de salir de ahí y llegar al resto del país.
Perfecto, muchas gracias.
That was amazing. Thank you.
Oh, I was going to say we have time for maybe a couple of questions. If we have questions here in the room, anyone this side of the room would like to ask a question?
The sub race were very big things, and originally, Formula E is a race of against climate change. Nevertheless, this time you suffered by a huge climate change. How do you see this kind of things? And this means for maybe someone testing for your policy is going to continue in the future. I'd like to have some message to the people who watch it from the East.
Well, to be very, very brief, I think what happened in Valencia and in some other places in the world shows the necessity of platforms like Formula E and the promotion at the end of the electromobility, of the green mobility, as the main solution today to the CO2 emissions and therefore to the climate change. So, again, the more championships, the more sports, the more media is aware that really those electric cars are really the solution, not the solution, but part of the solution for that climate change, for that CO2 emissions. And this is all we do for nature. You know, Formula E is exactly what we do, and it's in our DNA. So I would just like to welcome so many other companies that take the same route as we do in order to try to avoid things like this happening in the future.
One more question? Here we go.
Nick Golding from Race News Racing. So our question for Alberto, obviously what's happening in Valencia is devastating. Formula E has achieved a lot in its short history. In terms of the logistics and operationally, under devastating circumstances, is this actually now the greatest achievement Formula E has ever had, being able to move a test in the space of 72 hours effectively?
If you mix what the people had in their mind when they saw that disaster, probably yes, you know, because you have to fight against two things. One, an operational challenge, which we are unfortunately very used to it, you know, because we race in the heart of the biggest cities in the world, and that represents a challenge by itself. But we never had that component of, you know, touching your heart, you know, in the way the disaster of Valencia happened. So, in a way, yes, you know, definitely organizing all that in 72 hours. We have quite a few people that are actually from Valencia, you know, and they have been, believe it or not, the leaders of the project within Formula E in order to basically find the solutions to get there. But at the same time, they were with an eye and with part of the brain, probably 90% of the brain, also thinking on their own and personal situation, you know, and their families were obviously suffering, and their businesses were suffering, and so again, yeah, I'm super proud of what the team has done, but again, we could have never done it without the help of a lot of people, including, you know, the two circuits, FIA, and all the teams and manufacturers who has been absolutely flexible and patient with the whole thing.
Finally, before we let you go, obviously there is the relief fund that Formula E have pledged along with other support. Can you just outline the support that Formula E is giving to Valencia and that region?
So again, this is just a tweak, and we are putting a fund of 50,000 euros straight away into a website called, remind me?
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe, thank you so much. Where we're inviting the whole ecosystem of Formula E, the whole motorsport world to basically come with us, you know, and help the community of Valencia. I don't know how much do we have as of today, but definitely our target is to get to 100,000 euros. When we get closer to 100,000 euros, we will put that target in 200,000 euros, and on and on and on. So we really believe that that is, again, only part of the solution, but definitely giving them human and technical resources today is as important as economical resources, and this is exactly what we're doing.